Boom. Good morning, Miss Emily Marks-Snyder. Thanks for meeting with me this morning. I appreciate you.
Sure thing.
So, yesterday we had an opportunity to work together where I got a chance to see you do some really good teaching um, in regards to your seventh grade class. And these are the things that I saw. I saw that your learning target was I can solve real world problems involving percentages about commission, interest, markup, and decimals. Um, that was a state learning target, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, okay. I want to give you some shout out kudos to you. You kept the lesson very focused. Um, that was awesome. It appropriately related to math content. Everything that you presented to the kiddos in your journal was relative. To see the students engaged, I'm gathering. I counted 29 students. Is that about average for you?
Yeah. I think that's about how many typically come.
Okay. So, this is NTI anyway. So, hey, kudos for being able to get that many to come in the first place. How many total students do you have? Is it 70, 74?
70, probably just around 70.
Okay. So at this juncture in the lesson, this is unit what, 4?
Yes.
Okay. So when you were teaching yesterday, was it more about to you, was it more about the concepts, the procedures, or application?
I would say um, application.
I 100% agree it was about application. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I marked for you, that you did a good job of being able to tell the students, hey, this is about application. Here's where you're going to use this. Here's how you're going to use it. Okay. And here's when you're especially the connection of the assignment, which was buying a pair of, as a shoe collector, buying a pair of Jordan shoes and marking them up, 32%, uh,
Yes.
and getting a profit. Hey, I was so business oriented about that. I kind of chuckled. I thought, okay, go ahead there, Miss Mark Snyder. I like that. That was pretty good. So here's some strengths that I saw. Um, the question is: the teacher strengthens all students' understanding of content by strategically sharing students' representations or solution methods. I felt like you did that most of the time. Oh, sorry about that. Phone just rings out of nowhere when you don't want it to.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. Deliberately checking for understanding throughout the lesson when you ask students to the problem that I'm speaking of with the Michael Jordan shoe. I thought that was pretty awesome. The problem where you moved on to the YMCA and you were trying to
Yeah.
find out a commission for a student who had received $8. Oh man, when you got down to the $135 membership and they had to figure out their commission, the students knew what to do. They seemingly were just putting the decimal in the wrong spot. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't want to call the kid's name as we are recording right now, but I thought it was rather funny. The student knew to multiply and it kept saying the number as a whole number.
Hmm.
And finally, to your credit, you were able to draw the students back to the first problem and say, what did we do with the decimal? And oh, okay. The students immediately figured that out. I said, okay. Okay, that was a good
Yeah.
connection. Very good connection. I think at this juncture, right there, at that moment would have been a good time to repeat because you started out class talking about the learning target, and this would have been a good time for you to mention it again, what they were trying to do. Do you have any idea where you might mention that learning target again? So that's twice I'm suggesting you mention it at the beginning, right after the second activity. Do you have any idea
Okay.
where you might mention the learning target again?
Right at the end
Yes. Why would you do that?
to reinforce the purpose of why we're doing what we're doing.
Hey, man, you got it. You got it. You got it. I even, myself being in the classroom, sometimes I forget to do it at the end.
Yeah.
But I think when we're in person, um, well, in person, do you have any idea what you might do? that would be related to that learning target at the end?
Probably some sort of exit slip
Bingo.
or like cool down type of question.
Right on the money. Right on the money. That's a perfect time to mention the whole idea about the learning target, both at the beginning, in the middle, and the end. Specifically, if we're in person, some type of cool down, some type of
Yeah,
exit slip right before the kiddos exchange to their next class. Awesome sauce. We're almost there to the end there. Pretty good. So that
beautiful.
action step of definitely including your learning target, I would definitely suggest you include that in your going forward as you
Okay.
teach, to just mention it again. Doesn't necessarily have to be an activity since we're in NTI, but at least mention it again would be a good action step. Prompting the students, that was a strength. Affirming that the students were correct, that was a strength. Um, I wouldn't call what we just talked about in regards to learning target a weakness. And I would call it more like, as an observer, I wonder if she remembers. Obviously,
Okay.
you do.
Yeah.
Okay. I felt that your students' work with the practice was right on grade level. As far as it being enough time, because you guys meet how many times a week?
Just once.
Yeah, that's for the amount of time that you have meeting only once a week for what, an hour?
Yes.
Yeah, for an hour. I mean, the kiddos can't get a whole lot of practice, and you did good with what you had. You worked within your time frame, kept it short, sweet, and right to the point. Not a whole
Thank
lot of rabbit holes. You don't want to have students go places they don't need to be.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes there's a lot of backwards working because we go a whole week without seeing each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of reinforcing that is missed throughout the week. So that's the biggest struggle.
In your planning, do you have something built in to support those students because you only see them once a week?
I do have office hours that I encourage the students come to so that we can keep reinforcing what we're learning, but I can't force them to come to any additional meets with me. So it's just getting them to do that is hard.
I specifically saw 4 students verbally answering your questions, but again, I know this is
Mhm.
NTI, and most of the students had their cameras. That's just I know that's NTI. That much
Yeah.
I'm positive of. Now, this one may be a tough question in regards to engagement. In fact, it's my last question. Besides those 4 who answered so quickly, how do you feel about just randomly calling another child to answer a question? Hey, William, what do you think?
I feel like I tried that more at the beginning of the year, um, but just kept hitting the issue of I'd call on random students and just hear nothing because during NTI they have the ability to just hide behind their camera being off and not say anything. Um, and so I've just kind of started relying more on those students who are so willing to participate. And I do agree that I do need to do some sort of thing or strategy to get more students to engage. It's just making that successful is hard.
Hmm. I was thinking about some type of point game off to the side,
Okay.
such as if you answer in the chat, you get an extra couple of points on your journal. Um,
Okay.
I saw a game or something at one point where a kid can be interactive during a virtual setting. The game is actually going on. So as we are right now talking with each other through Google Meet, a particular small video basketball game is literally going on in the lower left hand corner of your screen. You answer this
Okay.
extra credit. You answer the extra credit question by shooting a basket, and it
Huh.
gives you points just for literally answering the question. Person never says a word. They drop it in a chat box, and it's like they're shooting a free throw. Boop. Question answered.
Interesting.
2 points. I'm sorry.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Just some way to keep them engaged. Like, hey, wait a minute, I'm paying attention, but they're really not paying attention. They're
Yeah.
shooting baskets, playing a video game, but they are listening. They catch it. They will catch it.
Yes.
But those were a couple of my action steps I would suggest specifically around the learning target. Um, do you have any questions for me as regards to observing? Because I definitely like to do this again with you.
Yeah. I um I don't think so. I do think that yesterday when you were observing me, I did spend more time than usual on relationship building with the students and going through like the would you rather questions for longer than I had planned to. But I see value in that.
Mm.
And the only thing it took away from was at the end, I didn't have time to do like a quizzes activity. Do you think that it's more important to spend the time doing that relationship building or to continue having 5 minutes at the end of class to reinforce what we learned?
No, I because we are in this NTI setting, I think it is extremely valuable that you spend all that time with a relationship building because it's hard to get to know someone when you're not in person. I think socially, students they bond to their teachers when they can figuratively touch and feel them in person, figuratively speaking.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that behind the screen. As you said, students hide behind their screen. So, no, no, big kudos on the idea of building that relationship. They trust you. They trust you. A young lady and a young man that were very engaged verbally yesterday, I could clearly tell they were so comfortable because they had their screens on, animated, quick to answer. The couple of students who answered in the chat box that had their screens off, they felt comfortable with I don't. They would type in, "I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that." No, that was wonderful that you built those relationships and that rapport. It makes sense. Keep up that work. That's what, for me, as an instructor, that's what I want to do. Build that
Yeah.
relationship so they would feel comfortable texting me at 4:30 in the evening, 5:30 in the evening. Hey, did I do this right? Yeah. No. X, Y, and Z. That's just me though.
Yeah. I agree.
Hey, good job, Miss
Thanks.
Marks Snyder. You Steph Curry yesterday's lesson. 3-point all day. Turned around and went back the other way. I'm
I
giving you
didn't
props.
either.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Talk to you real soon.
um,
And we can meet up again and talk about the next unit. Maybe we can do another observation. Yep.
Sounds good.
Cool. Hey, have a good day. See you.
You too.
Bye.
All right.
This was fun.
Perfect.
Stop.
Recording off. Huh?
Nope.
Oh.
Oh my God, stop. Okay.